Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner, and this is a review for Love After Lockup. It's season 4. This is episodes 3 and 4, so it's probably gonna be long because I did not do last week's episode, and then this week's episode. So I'm doing both of them in one video. So sit back, relax, and have a good time and whatnot. Okay. Now, first of all, make sure to do a couple of things to subscribe to my channel. So become a whole JayBird, dot. Okay. Do not forget to do these things. So like the video. If you are already here, make sure to like this video. Thank you very much. Okay. Comments in the comment section. This is a premiere video. So while I'm not live, you can still comment in the comment section while the premiere is going and also on the replay of it all. Okay. And y'all know to share this video. Please and thank you. Do not forget to follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, on Twitter, on TikTok, and everything else in between. And if you want to send me $1 or two on CashApp, please feel free, okay, at JayLeesCorner. Now, while I am here, it is Sunday. It's around 5:30. I have 8,655 reviews to do today. I still have to do put a ring on, and I have to still do growing up hip hop and the two Black Ink Crews, and then still watch Bad Boys Club today. To be live, I will be live for Bad Boys Club review tomorrow. Okay, Monday at 8 p.m. Okay, that live is already set, so make sure to be there and not to be square. Now, I'm gonna be popping in and popping out because I just don't feel like being on camera that much today. And I'm gonna review 2 shows and one fell swoop. So again, bye. Anyway, so let's get started on the foolishness that is Love After Lockup. New fools, new foolishness, new drama, and also new lies. Because a few folks around here lying like we don't see it, but I see it. Okay. Now, first up, we have Lacey and Antoine, which we really have not gotten much of at all, even though this is only episode 3 and 4. I feel like, is he not getting out? You know what I'm saying? Why don't we see much of them at all? But we do see Lacey's going to meet up with his mama, Christy. Okay, and I'm like, Christy clearly is a bit intoxicated. Okay, she's like, oh, I had a couple of drinks and whatnot, and because I'm like, oh, she fried, like she was. I don't know if she came there drunk or while of waiting for Lacey to get there, she got drunk. Either way it go, by the time producers was showing her, she was drunk. Okay, she was like a little bit tipsy and whatnot. Now Lacey brings up how Christy wasn't always an alcoholic, she wasn't always drinking, to the point to where you can tell she was drunk. But she think once Antoine got locked up and went to jail, that the mama started drinking a little bit more, and then it got out of hand, and it's been like that ever since. Okay. Now at the end of the day, Christy, the mama's like, what is your plans with my son? I say she plans to fuck your son. Okay, she wants to have sexual relations with your son, and that's what I think it is. But that ain't on me. Okay, that's on these two ladies. And Lacey brings up, I really think that me and him can be together. We can have a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it is. And Mama was like, I don't think you think that. I don't really think you think that. You cannot be that naive. You know what I'm saying? My son is a monster. Okay, he is a monster. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. I can throw his ass far. He in prison for a reason. He be lying to you and telling me stuff you don't even know. You are in denial that this is stupid. I was like, the mama like, girl, get away from my son. But it's weird because what is your son telling you that he isn't telling her? And if you know this and do not want them together, just tell her so she can leave him alone or whatever. But Lacey gets upset. Okay, I don't like this. I don't like how you talking to me. I'm not no kid. Do not talk to me like I'm a child. Leave me be. Okay, I'm gonna leave. And I was like, what you leaving for? My thing is, two adults should be able to have a conversation at the same time. I will check you about how you're speaking to me without me running away from the conversation. I feel like with Lacey just not wanting to hear the mama say, you and my son will never be. Okay, it ain't gonna really work. He gonna get home and get out and come home to mama, not to you. This is a weird dynamic of two older women fighting over a man. One is the lady's son and the other lady boyfriend and they friends. Honey, that's why you can't date your friends' kids, okay? You just gotta do that or whatever. But Lacey feel like I'm not gonna let anybody upset my happiness. I ain't gonna let nobody take my happiness from me. I'm like, but are you happy? Are you sure you have? I don't think you happy. You can't be, in my opinion, because why talk to his mom about him when you know she alcoholic? What's she gonna say? Girl, nothing. Anyway, let's move on to Rick and Radine. So Radine has gotten out of prison. She was in the halfway house for 2 months, and Ray had not Rick. Rick had not seen her for the whole 2 months she was out. So she now has like a little pass to be out for 48 hours, okay? And we get to see Radine. It was her teeth. It was her teeth, y'all. I was like, okay. I thought those might be meth teeth. I think people who do meth teeth get real shark like. Um, and I was like, but her okay. But again, they happy to see each other, whatever. She like, I really missed him. It's been some time since we've seen each other. We're going to my parents' house for Thanksgiving dinner, and they're hugging and kissing and hugging. Now, Radine brings up how I have always been like a troublemaker. Like I got in trouble my whole life. Okay, it is hard to stay on the right side of things because it's boring over there. It is boring on the right side. I want to be on the left side of things. But again, she liked getting into trouble and how but she did not like Rick trying to put his tongue down her throat. I said, well, I wouldn't either. Okay. Because who wants someone's tongue down their throat? Nobody. But he got an old man tongue. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, an old man tongue on your throat got to be different. And girl, I heard and her teeth. I'm leaving that be. Anyway, now she do bring up how she has not been fully honest with Rick about things. And in the car, we see her get a phone call from her girlfriend. Okay, Kay, who Rick thought was just her bunkmate in prison, and he did not know that she's like the whole full-fledged girlfriend that Radine really wants to be with or whatever. And Rick like, look, you told me you were bisexual. You know what I'm saying? And we discussed like if you have the urge to be the woman, we can bring one in or whatever. Who would then go away and we'll just keep picking different women. But you know what I'm saying? That's what we had said before. And Radine said, well, Kay ain't going nowhere. Okay, Kay gonna be around here, around me, and whatever. And so I didn't mention it before because I didn't want you to feel like you weren't enough. I'm like, you didn't mention it because you knew he would not stick around knowing he isn't enough. You can't tell your boyfriend who you know does not want to share you with other people that you want to be shared with somebody else. And then the prison mate. And then his thing was, well, I know she's not going anywhere because she's in prison for like 4 to 20 years or whatever. So it ain't like she's gonna be out like right now, but she gonna still be in the picture, at least via phone or whatever. So I was like, he said, look, I am not trying to have no polygamy family. I don't want to have no little triplets situation. Like I ain't trying to like that's not my long run game. I want to be me, one other person, and that's it. Okay, that's it. But she's like, well, okay, whatever. And so they do get to her parents' house and everything, and the family's all happy she home. They crying and shit. Oh, we miss you so much. We love you, Radine. You're home. They got her room all set up and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And when her mom was in the kitchen talking, she's like, Mom, I really do, I'm gonna stay with Rick tonight because we're gonna have sex. Okay, I don't want to be here fucking that man. Because Rick don't realize she really wants to live at her parents' house, but we're gonna leave that be for a different day. And but she's her mom, like, I do care for him, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna stay at the house with him, to like she's off for 2 days to have the sex or whatever. But I also want to date, have fun for a while or whatever. I don't want to jump into something so serious right now. But she then introduced her family to Kay via video while he's there. Her daddy and Rick is sitting next to each other, and she's like, "Oh, Dad, here's Kay." And Rick then figures out, oh, So the whole family was aware of her being with Kay, but no one told me. And I'm like, yeah, because they're not your family, okay? If Ray Dean said, don't tell my sugar daddy that I'm fucking this lady in prison, they're not gonna tell you that, okay? And I think that's why the dad said she needs to be here, okay? Because she needs to be kind of watched and monitored for a while, because again, she's a wild stallion in the wild and stuff with Shark Teeth. Now, so for Rick, he feel like, okay, these are red flags I'm seeing because the little stuff she ain't telling me, the other folks knew. Now at the dinner, the little Thanksgiving dinner, his roommate comes too, but to meet Kay for the first, not Kay, to meet Ray Dean for the first time, and she's like, "Who is this girl on the phone?" Because Ray Dean has them set up the damn um phone at the dining room table so that the girlfriend in prison can have dinner with them like she's really there. They even put a little plate of food in front of the phone. I was like, the fuck is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong with y'all? And the roommate like, so who's Kay? Who's that? And they're like, oh, that's Radine's girlfriend. She's like, oh girl, oh wow. Okay, I guess that's between Rick, and Radine. And I was like, well, Kay, Rick, and Radine. And, the roommate brings up how they tried so much to, make sure the house is together for her that she can feel welcome, because she had a roommate, and whatnot. And I was like, girl, run. Okay, it's about to be some foolishness. So they do go back to Rick's house to have sex. I was like, first of all, his bed is childish. Okay, he too old. How old is this man? How old is he? He is 49 years old. That is a middle schooler or a high schooler bed. Okay, I just don't think grown men should have beds like that. I think grown men beds should look thick, okay, and adult like, and it should have a headboard. It should just be different. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're with somebody and someone gonna be living there with you. Like, it should be a couple bed. I'm like, first of all, that bed probably is a queen, but it looked like a full size bed. It looked like they need most space because he's a grown ass man. Finally, that bed. And he even has sheets. Why you got sheets on your window, sir? You ain't got a pet peeve of mine. I get some folks have blinds, and so you do not really need curtains. But if you're gonna put something up over your blinds, it should not be a sheet. Get some damn. You are 49 years old, sir. Get you some curtains. Get you some curtains and get you a king size bed. Okay, I'm gonna leave that be. So again, they had sex. They both say it's good or whatever. I was like, ew. And the following day or whenever, they're going back to her parents' house because she had 2 days out. And we see them in the car, and she gets a call from Kay, and they chit and chat. Okay, all right, they love you too. And he's like, the fuck is she talking about? Oh, she love her. Oh, she okay. And then she asked him like, how does it feel for him? Hearing her have conversations with Kay. And he like, it's weird. It's weird hearing you talk to her and loving her in front of me. Mainly because you never told me about these things, and I just found out yesterday, okay? And then he also said he realized she been lying to me, and I don't like it. Red flag, red flag. I was like, the red flag is goddamn bad. Okay, that's my opinion because it's just weird. I don't get it. Okay, but let's move on to Kevin and Tiffany. Okay, this is my thing with Kevin. Kevin is a playboy. Okay, Kevin's a playboy, and so dating Tiffany, who's in jail, is fun for him. Okay, it's fun for him. Ain't no big deal for him. Fun, 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 fun. So when Tiffany did not get released, he was like, "Oh, I can't believe she didn't get out. I can't believe she's in. What's going on? I ain't talked to her, whatever's going on." So a couple days later, she does call him. She tells him that I got us in trouble, so I couldn't call nobody or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got caught fooling around with my girlfriend in prison. I'm like, why does everybody in prison have a girlfriend? I'm like, because that is, I get in prison, you do what you got to do. But it's just like whatever. But we got caught fooling around, okay? And so they paused me being released, and now I'm going to be transferred to a halfway house, within a couple days or whatever. And so kind of like, all right, it's cool or whatever. And he brings up how he didn't fully know that she had a girlfriend. He knew that she had mentioned, what I'm saying, how girls do things in prison, but he didn't think anything of it. That he is cool with, any woman he's dealing with who likes women. He don't, he don't really care, but he not okay with this chick he dealing with who has another man. Okay. And so he like, what time should I come pick you up from the halfway house? We got a halfway house. And then she's like, I don't know. I think it'd be like around 80, but I don't know if you should come get me. You know what I'm saying? They kind of trusted me out or whatever, which confuses Kevin because as he saying we've been talking this whole time and the plan was always for me to come pick her up. So why is she stressed out now about me picking her up? Is weird. Okay. Plus, he had not been talking to her for the past 2 days. And he like, look, I'll figure it out or whatever. And she said, all right, I took later, bye. And she hung up. Now we do see him having a little conversation with a friend about, saying, what's going on. The friend then say, I think you should just go there and see what's up. Like, go and see if she maybe have another dude there. And then that can be like, gotcha, bitch. Okay. Because you can see, well, yeah, she's there with somebody else. And it is what it is, but at least you'll know. It may be really messy. It may get really, spicy, but at least you'll know and you can move on from that because usually he isn't a person who keeps dealing with things from women or whatever. He be like, I'm done, leave me alone. But he ain't doing that with her because I guess he pussy but without getting the pussy. But at least, he can know what's going on. We then see across town, there's a second guy, okay? We then meet Curtis. Curtis. I was like, what is Curtis? Who's Curtis? Where did Curtis come from? And I was like, what? I'm like, what's going on? It's like 13 miles away. Insert Curtis. So Curtis is talking to one of his friends about how he's known Tiffany for 13 years. They went to school together and how, she recently reached out to him and asked him to come pick her up from prison. I was like, a three-way. Okay, every season we get some kind of three-way. This is how it's gonna be. Okay, he brings up how me and her have never dated, but I always liked her back in the day, and I always like chased after her, and I like chasing her or whatever, and I'm still chasing her to this day. And I was like, to this day. I said, okay. Now, anyway, he brings up how she kind of ghosted him years ago, and he did not know what's going on. And then she popped back up on Facebook with a new Facebook page and, reached out to him. And he found that she actually had went to prison. So again, they had been talking and whatnot. But then about 2 weeks ago is when she called him and said, hey, what's up? Can you come get me from the halfway house? Please and thank you or whatever. So as he said, he gonna do what it takes to be with her because he loves her. He's always loved her. He's always cared. And that's what it is. It's dark. But it's Sunday. It's a chill day. Whatever. Anyway, so we do see both men, okay, get to the halfway house, park next to each other to pick her up. I was like, this is gonna be messy, okay? And so when they park next to each other and Kevin turns around and look, he recognized Curtis. He's like, Kevin said, what the fuck is this weenie? I'm like, weenie? The fact that Kevin keeps saying weenie, what is weenie doing here? He's such a weenie. Oh, he's a weenie. I'm looking like, a weenie girl. I mean, Kevin is weird and Kevin pussy, but Kevin's also a little bit gangsta, okay? Anyway, Kevin brings up how he knows Curtis because they have mutual friends. So he's seen him around because, again, they live near each other and it is what it is. And I was like, well, so y'all know each other? They at least know of each other in one way or the other. But I don't think Kevin realized, oh, he here for Tiffany. Tiffany got out. Boom. Tiffany's out. Okay. And when she got out, I think she seen them both parked next to each other. She was like, oh shit, okay. But she just kept walking and she walked straight by Kevin to get into Curtis's truck. And I was like, not ignoring. And he said, oh, you gonna walk past me? She's like, oh, hey. And she kept walking. I was like, oh my God. Because you would assume she would at least stop and say something to him, but no, ma'am. Went to Curtis's car and she brings up how I asked him not to come, you know what I'm saying? But he's hard-headed. This is exactly what I did not want to happen. You know what I'm saying? I always knew I could call on Kevin while I was in prison. okay, to be my confidant or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we did plan to be together. That was the whole plan. Yes. But I stopped communicating with Kevin a few weeks right before I came home from prison because I did not want to be stressed out about being in a relationship with him because I knew he was a ladies' man. I'm looking like, now she used him from prison. Oh my God. Who would have thought? I was like, I would have. People in prison really be on that. Yeah, they be playing. And you have to be smarter than the average bear. And it seemed like the average bear, which is Kevin, was outsmarted by Tiffany, okay? Because Tiffany had two men there at the halfway house to pick her up or whatever. And then while Kevin's standing around there, she's telling Curtis, can you help me get my stuff? Because I got to get my stuff and things. And they carrying her boxes because, again, she'd been there at the halfway house for a little while. I think maybe like 2 months, maybe 2 weeks, I don't remember. But again, she and her and Curtis are like, this. I was like, girl, and the whole time, Kevin, oh man, this is some bullshit. I can't believe this shit. You know what I'm saying? He's such a weenie. He's a weenie. You know what I'm saying? And Tiffany, when this shit don't work out and it goes bad for you, don't call me. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me when that shit comes up that weenie. You know what I'm saying? I would never fight over that bitch. I was like, not fight over that bitch. I was like, nah, she's a bitch. I mean, he feel like she lied, but I'm like, you were still fucking Kayla. Kayla told us you fucked her on Sunday. Okay, a couple of weeks ago. So leave me be with the bull of the shit. Okay, get out my face. Get out of my face. Or whatever. And so we see Curtis and Tiffany get in the car and they kiss. I was like, not a kiss. Not, hey, babe. I said, no. Kevin, like, this is some bullshit. And even though Kevin was saying, I ain't gonna fight over her, I ain't gonna fight over that bitch, some kind of way, they got in each other's faces, Kevin and Curtis, both for the K. And then Kevin was like, Curtis had his hand behind his back. Okay, we're gonna say that first. And then they're fussing back and forth about who's a win, you ain't shit, you ain't shit. You like a little boy, Kevin. You like a little boy, Kevin. Whatever, man, whatever. Little weenie. I'm like, this is a dumbass child's argument. And Kevin says to Curtis, I will knock your punk ass out. No, I'll knock your pussy ass out. Okay. And Curtis was him out his back. Do it. And I was like, okay. And Kevin proceeded to, and it was not a sucker punch. Even though Curtis' hands was behind his back, it was not a sucker punch. We have told folks before, you cannot be in a argumentative conversation in someone's face, okay? And then if they say, man, I'm gonna punch you. You can't say do it and think they will not hit you. And Kevin showed, you asked for it and I gave it to you. And when I say he knocked him clean out, Kevin, look at Kevin's feet. Look at Curtis. Look at Curtis' feet are still tied together. Okay, he went the same stance. Where is it at? The same stance that he's standing in with his hands behind his back. He fell. His whole body tensed up. Okay, his whole body tensed up, and he got knocked the fuck out. Now I don't know if y'all cold, but he fell like a brick. Okay, he fell hard like wood. I was like, timber, down goes Frazier, down goes Frazier. It was crazy. I was like, no. He really, but again, Curtis said, do it. And then Kevin just proceeded to punch that man. It was one punch, dead to the jaw, and down goes Frazier. I was like, wow, it's getting hectic, okay? And the whole time, Tiffany, she's in the car with production talking or whatever. And these fools, I said, girl, it was a one-headed quitter. So again, Kevin pussy as far as him, you know what I'm saying? You're a weenie. You're a big fat weenie. But when someone said, do it, Kevin did it. And Kevin knocked his ass on his ass. I was like, it was the fact that his legs got stiff and he just felt like he fell. It was like timber with a tree. I believe that be because it can get messy. Tiffany has gotten herself in a whole conundrum because you now have two men, fighting over you in a parking lot outside of a halfway house where you were in prison. And you see it's like a cop or at least security person who's right there when Kevin didn't care that a cop type person or sheriff was right there. Okay, I'm gonna punch you in your face. Down goes Frazier, and the security dude or the cop, whoever the cop was, dude, had to help. I was like, oh no, not today. And it was like, yes, today. Okay. Let's move on to Taylor and Chance. I don't like Taylor. I think Taylor's stupid, okay? Because she is allowing someone to come to her life who I just feel like it's gonna be a whole bunch of mess, okay? Just a mess and it's gonna be done. Now, Chance is out. We know that he has a whole, we're gonna be amazing, life's gonna be great or whatever, because I'm out now and I'm with Taylor. The weather's great and I'm out of prison and she's amazing. I was looking like, when people do not have realistic ideals about getting out and being with a stranger, it's strange to me. Okay, it's okay to want happiness, but if you think it's gonna be lollipops and rainbows, it's gonna be Lucky Charms, then you're stupid. You're dumb. Okay. Now, Chance says that he is not going to put up with Taylor's sister, who lives there too, um, being there and not helping out with stuff. And I was like, sir, you haven't even got to the house. You can't do shit yet. So how dare you come in and say her sister, is something that you would have some kind of opinion on or control. When this fool said, because it's my house when I live there, okay, and so I have some authority too because I'm with Taylor and it's her house. I was like, sir, you ain't shit. Didn't you know that you ain't shit? If you don't know, I am here to tell you, I don't like anyone coming into a situation that you had no help in preparing. You didn't do anything to help her do shit. And the fact that that lady has 3 kids that she's dealing with on her own, and her sister there helping her, I'm pretty sure if Taylor's paying all the bills, her sister must be the one helping with the kids. Because someone has to watch the children while she's at work. I'm gonna leave that be. Anyway, we do see the sister Bob, like, I'm not falling for that bullshit or whatever. I was also in prison, and I know he's trying to get me out the house. I heard him say he wants to get me put into the garage or whatever, and his prison tricks will not work on me because I was also in prison. So I know how the bullshit goes, okay? My signal seems low. And so I ain't here for it. And the fact that Taylor is bringing a whole stranger, this is a stranger danger, stranger danger. She's bringing a whole stranger man in her house with her 3 daughters. That is the exact thing that CPS is for, Child Protective Services. Please, someone get them on the line and get these things checked. Look, I don't look. No one should allow strangers around their children. This should not happen. And even if you want to be with him, he should have had somewhere else to live before coming to live with you and your 3 children and your sister. It's just weird, okay? And the fact that he is more concerned, he is concerned that the sister being around will be an issue because she may come between him and her, right? Because she's on your bullshit. Okay, you are a whole stranger, sir. You are on bullshit, not caring about what's really the thing to do. What is first, that'd be weird. Not be weird, okay? Now things are tense between him and the sister because again, the sister's not for the bullshit, and so they're just, they're both exerting their dominance, okay? Him as her as Taylor's boyfriend, and the sister as Taylor's sister, and then it's like, but he's a stranger, girl. Now we do see how one of the daughters gets jealous because he is not giving her as much attention as one of the sisters or whatever. And Taylor, like, saying, the kids don't have a father figure, so they really cling to him. I'm saying, and they're clinging to him for that reason because he's the first person to be a father figure to him. I'm like, he's only been out of jail for 1 day, and they've only had conversations with him on the phone. You should have never had them calling him dad. There's none of that shit, girl. Anyway, I'm leaving that be. But Taylor then says, when she sees how the one daughter gets like jealous or whatever and walks away, that she's worried about how attached they are to him so fast. Well, bitch, you moved him in the house and prepared them for him by forcing them to have conversations with him on the phone. And the reason I say force is because you can easily make sure that your kids are not involved in a relationship you have with someone who's in prison. Because the kids can go to the prison. I mean, they could, but they should not have. Okay, so to allow them to have phone conversation, girl, You put your kids in a situation that you will eventually have to deal with later on or whatever. Because she said, I've now have more hearts involved in this situation. Taylor is a bit dumb, dumb. Boom, boom, boom. And we see that Chan is a bit of an asshole because she helped him get a job with a friend who does like plumbing stuff or whatever, but he would have to drive around for that position. He went and got his license that day, but then they ran his name or whatever for a background check for the job and whatnot, and it came up that he had like citations from 2018, but he was in prison in that time. So again, it's probably a glitch, but he's aggravated trying to get it figured out. He's kind of taking it out on her. So she realized, okay, he has attitude and he's being rude to me or whatever. Like it's my fault. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like seeing him overreact over such small things. That's weird. Then later on in the day, they had bought pizza, and he was upset with her because she did not want to eat the pizza. And I'm like, but she don't want the pizza. And she don't want the pizza. She don't have to eat the pizza. Leave the lady alone or whatever. It's crazy to me. And they're fussing back and forth. And he's cussing and fussing and raising his voice. And her thing is, I don't like him doing that in front of my kids. Again, you brought a stranger into your home, and he showed you while he was in prison that he would be this weird, dominant man who thinks he runs shit when he get there. He showed you this side while he was in prison. You were just too stupid to realize my kids do not need to be around that. You can't be that lonely. You can't be. Okay, I'm leaving that be too. But again, she's just upset or whatever. And he felt like I ain't gonna hold my tongue. Like I don't care what anybody say. I'm gonna speak my mind when I want to if I don't like something and I don't care. Again, being a whole asshole who ain't did shit. Okay. And then his sister comes out to console Taylor. And Taylor brings up, I just don't, I thought things would be perfect. I thought it would be perfect or whatever. And that's just not what's going on. Well, I told you, it's dumb when we see women put themselves in these positions and they have children. It's one thing to bring a man home and it's just you. I would say, girl, it's on you. But you have 3 daughters who's at the wrong age to be dealing. If your kids is like a year old, maybe 2, when this shit falls to sugar to shit, they won't fully remember most of it, but all her kids are at age to remember that crazy man Chance mama was with who was cousin fuss over pizza. They know. Okay, they know. And then they were later on talking or whatever about his papers from prison. So he brought home his like phone number pieces of paper where he had like a piece of paper with all these phone numbers on them or whatever. Because in prison, that's how you go to the I heard. You go to the payphone or whatever, and you have to call folks and whatnot. You have to have a list of their numbers to call people. And so he brought that home with him, and she seen it was a whole bunch of female numbers. He first lied or jokingly lied. He was lying, saying how, I have 38 cousins or whatever. So, all those are cousins. He was lying. He was lying. And her thing is, well, I can't believe you brought that home or whatever. I'm saying, I don't like that you made the choice to have that here. Like, I don't trust that. And then he like, well, if you don't like my honesty, I'm saying, showing you the papers or whatever, you can leave. I'm like, she can leave. And go. He told her that she can leave the room. I said, bitch, that's her house. What's wrong with you? Get out of my face, Chance, okay? And that, he could have been with any woman that he was still talking to, okay, who did not have children, did not have debts. And he could have been with them, but he chose to be with her. I said, you chose her because she allows you to be the asshole you are. And I'm pretty sure the mother woman probably was not putting up with shit like she was. So don't make it seem like, I did you a favor. Okay. Me, a man in prison for robbing a bank and a drug addict. Okay. I did you a favor by picking you over women who had no children and no debt. I was like, nigga, you is a debt to her. I'm leaving that be. Anyway, so it's just stupidness. Okay, it is stupidness. And then he brings up how, you talking to me about the papers with phone numbers, but you have photos on your social media and around the house of your ex. It's the ex he's speaking of is her children's father who died. And she's like, I want them to know when they get older that me and him was happy. I want them to see photos of us before because they may not remember. So that stuff is up for them. Is it for the kids or is it for you? She's diagnosed for my kids. He said that she should have taken the photos down before he got home because she needs to make room for him. Taylor, you gonna get what you gonna get. I'm gonna leave that be. We're gonna move on to Harry and Indy. Okay, Indy and Harry and whatnot. So, he look. I want to sum this up in one fell swoop because I don't want to spend too much time. Well, first, you know what? First of all, I need y'all to take a moment and like my video, okay? Because liking is always the thing to do, okay? Harry and Indy, is crazy to me because they're both basically homeless. Okay, they both are relying on his sister to house them. And so the fact that Indy had to tell him, you need to go fix things with your sister because you don't have nowhere else to go, and neither do I. Okay, not here. And the fact that Indy apologized to his sister saying, I'm sorry for not telling you that we will be out and be back later, whatever I'm saying. So that's my bad for not telling you. I'm like, why are you this should be for Harry. It's like, so can I still stay here? And this, yeah, that's fine. But before he can, we have to talk. So Harry and the sister talk. Okay, I think her name is Lydia or Lydia, I think it is. At the end of the day, her thing is you've been rude. You rude with how you talk to me, whatever, and you here because you need to be here and have nowhere to go. I don't need you to be here. And for Harry, he feel like because I'm only here because I don't have anywhere else to go, for one. But I thought my family would be more like considerate of my feelings and what I'm going through and make me comfortable coming home from prison. But no one is doing that. The fact that you have a place to go, that's them giving a fuck. They could have said nothing and be like, look, you can be home, so can your girl. But no, they didn't do that. It's stupid to me, okay? And Harry, like, y'all were the ones who made plans. I didn't make plans to have y'all waiting for me at midnight. That was not my plan. That was on y'all. And at the end of the day, both Lydia and Harry hot heads. The difference is Harry needs her. Okay, and she feel like because you need me, my word is more important than yours because this is my house and these are my rules, which is completely true. But when you have two hot heads and that's the one person's hot head, it's gonna piss the other one off. So I'm not at all saying Harry is right in any sense of the word, but I also feel like Lydia feels because it's my house, I don't have to give a fuck. When you piss me off, I'm gonna let you know I'm pissed off and you can get the fuck out. So yeah, I'm not aggressive on him. But Harry feel like because he was in prison, everyone needs to cater to him. And I'm like, sir, that isn't the case. Like no one needs to cater to you. You need to be respectful of the person's house you live in because you could be homeless. And it's fucked up that he thinks anyone owes him anything. Okay, and it's dumb to me. And when he brings up how, he don't want to go back to prison, but that's who he is, okay? And at the end of the day, he may have to risk it all to get out of his sister's house. I was like, sir, in his confessional, he looks so sad. Like you can tell he's probably been through a lot. I feel like he was probably touched. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he has this fiery, angry spirit that doesn't care about life because he probably has went through things that he ain't talked about. I can feel that. Okay. But we do see him hanging out with his friend, some dude named Johnny, who was his bunkmate at the halfway house or whatever. But the dude Johnny is out of the halfway house working or whatever and getting his life together. And here whole thing like, look, you know what I'm saying? I'm out now. Indy wants to get married. She wants all this instant shit. It's overwhelming to me. I've already cheated on her, even though she don't fully know that I actually had sex with someone. She think I was just 16. Was like, no, I had sex with somebody when I got out, and she don't know yet, whatever. And why would she want to stay with somebody who, cheated on her. And friend, like, I'm saying, well, look, first of all, cheating may not be her, end goal. Like that may not be what has to happen for her to end things with you. She may think that, that's a reason for her to do more to stop you from doing it again. But you need to figure out what you want or whatever. But he also say Harry is just scared of commitment. And I'm like, because he's a kid. And the fact that Indy is pressuring him to get married and all these things, I'm looking like, girl, he's a baby. He's a baby. And I'm not blaming Indy for his immaturity, but I feel like she should also have common sense to know you asking too much of this man fresh out of jail who has never lived. Okay, he went into jail at 18. He's still 18 in the head. He's still childish and immature in the head, but that's on him. Now we do see that Harry never came back that night from being at his friend's house. He stayed out until 10 a.m. the following day, which of course pissed Indy off because you're supposed to stay here every night per your PO. You cannot be out, I'm saying, this down, and you didn't even call me and tell me shit. And so she's put at him for that. And he feel like, I'm saying, you can't be my PO. You can't keep throwing all these rules in my face because why would I want to be with somebody or marry someone who acts that way? And why would you want to be with me when I cheated on you and I never said sorry? And I'm like, it's like he's trying to have her break up with him. Because to say to her, why would you want to be with somebody who cheated? And as you said, I never said sorry. And when she then said, well, clearly I want to be with you because I moved all the way across town with not across town, across the country with my daughter. So I'm here because I want to. I'm like, girl, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And I'm like, y'all, it's crazy. Now, we do see him have a conversation with his family, with his mom and his two sisters or whatever, and he asked them like how they feel about Indy. He first brought up too how his family did not visit him much in prison, so he had all this resentment for them not being there for him as he thought they should be, and so he needs to let that shit go. He needs to wash off the resentment, and he gonna do that eventually. But when we asked the family how they feel about Indy, they like, we just don't want you to play her. Like, it's crazy that she came here with a kid and she don't know you, but at the same time, we do not want you to play her because we are also involved with her in our lives, and you not for real about her, like, to let her go. And so he has like a one-on-one conversation with his mama, and she like, how do you really feel about Indy? And he said, I do love her. I really do. And mama was like, I think Indy loves you too. However, I just feel like she wants something, so fast. How she already has her daughter calling you dad or whatever. It seems like a little bit desperate. And Harry defends Indy. Like, first of all, don't say desperate. Take it out of the equation. Because Indy only has pure intentions. Like, she don't want nothing from me. So she's not desperate or whatever. Even though he still feel like she wants too much too fast, he still know it's not from any malicious or sneaky place or whatever. And so he brings up how, saying, I didn't have a father growing up, you didn't have yours or whatever. So I'm tired of innocent kids who just get swept up, and going down because they didn't have any guidance. And that's on bullshit or whatever. He then brings up how him and his sisters went through abuse through their stepfather and how they felt like their mom just left them with him because the mom was working so much for the bills. And the stepfather was the one who was at the house, basically beating and abusing them. Now, I really do feel like, again, someone touched him. I do feel like he got violated in some kind of way. And that is another reason why he's so angry and upset, based on what he went through. Because him crying, talking to his mom was so sad. Because you can tell it's some pain in him that he hasn't expressed. And he brought up how he never wanted to tell his mom about the abuse. Because he didn't want her to feel like it was her fault. He said, however, we was crying out for you and you wasn't there because you was working. But again, you know what I'm saying? But I still loved you and I forgive you. But again, that's what it was. It was a real, honest, true, emotional moment. But I also feel like more happened that he needs to unpack, and he probably won't for a while. And until then, he gonna keep me angry or whatever. And I was like, girl, bye. Now we do see him and Indy driving around or whatever, and they get put over because he was driving too slow for one. He crossed the lane for two, and the fact that he knew because the production was following them, and you see the cop car get over to get behind them. And he like, I think we're gonna get pulled over. Before they got stuck, he like, I know it. And his thing was usually, what I'm saying, when cops see out of town plates, that's a reason for them to pull people over. But again, he should not be driving because he don't have no license. He fresh out of prison. Okay, it's stupid. And he told the cop like, look, I just got out of jail. I have to get my license fixed or whatever. And that's what it like. She had the license, yes, but she was so tired and sleepy, whatever. I just drove because we just got here from Maryland, and the cop gives him a ticket or whatever, and just tell Indy to drive. So luckily, he did not get arrested because he could have. But again, I'm like, girl, why did you let him drive? That was just stupid on you, dumb diddy. Okay, but again, that was all that we had with Indy and Harry. I feel like it's gonna be a mess come eventually, but I'm gonna leave that be. And lastly, we have Kayla and Martell. Y'all know Kayla waited 13 years. 13 years for this man while he was in prison, and now he out or whatever. Now they did have sex. They both said it was good or whatever. Anyway, and he has to be at the halfway house. It was like 6 hours away. So they're driving to get there. And as they're driving, he's getting these consistent calls from folks who now know he's out of jail. And so they're, calling to chit chat or whatever. And she feel like, okay, he get on these calls. It's weird. I really just want to do time between me and him. And some calls we see he had on speaker, some calls he did not. And one call, when she said he put it on speakerphone, because she's like, who is that? Like, who is that? Is it a chick, whatever? He like, well, this call don't need to be on speakerphone. I'm like, okay. So that upsets her, whatever. And then when she mentions how, on the phones, we need to have an app that lets us know what the other one is at. Like, it's like it's like a tracker. And he like, I've been in prison for 13 years. I've been tracked for 13 years. And I don't want anything, tracking me. I ain't got nothing to hide, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be tracked. I don't know about that. I'm like, sir, first of all, I would have got him an iPhone. I would have already activated, my friend. And that man would not have no why, because he said, I don't know how to operate his phone. He would have never figured out how to get to find a friend to even know that you had access to where he was. He would have never known. Okay. Now, if he was cheating with some girl, the girl may know about that, but I'm like, some girls don't care because I assume he would not let another female have his phone anyway. So she crazy for not getting him an iPhone and it's operating and putting on there, find a friend. Because then she could always do who he was and he wouldn't have no wiser. Now, that's a bit deceived. Not deceivious. That's a bit of deception or deviousness, but again, I don't care. Okay. So he feel like her wanting to have an app that's tracked means that she don't trust him. That's her issue. I was like, I already don't like Martell. He already seems like he on some bullshit. And that's on bullshit. Now we do see, because they were running late, they have to make a quick stop, like around the corner from the halfway house. And he met his mom and niece in the parking lot or whatever. You should see them before going to the halfway house. My mom said, I know Kayla love my son because I can see by her actions over the years. The niece, like, she all right for right now. I don't know her that well. Okay, but fine. And Martell brings up how he was locked up, that he didn't even really need Kayla to send the money because his mom was always there. He had, his homeboys or whatever. And also, he said he had all these females who was sending him money. I was like, when anyone says the woman they asked to wait 13 years did not have to send money because he had all these women who did it anyway, I was like, okay, who is these women? Where they come from? And are you still? That's why Kayla was like, who on the phone? Put it on speaker. Okay, he ain't want to because it was a bitch he probably fucking with. Anyway, so we're gonna leave that be. Kayla brings up how because they drop him off the halfway house, and she brings up how she does not want the man she was fucking while he was in prison to come between them. You understand? Because she stopped fucking that man like over 2 years ago. Well, no, about 2 years ago. And Martell brings up how there's a lot of things that she don't know about him, the same thing that he don't know things about her. I mean, they both got lies and secrets, okay? And we can see that. Now, we do see a quick scene of Kayla having one from his mom or whatever. they seem really cool. They're like a whole dynamic duo, whatever. They take care of him and coordinate what has to happen. So they good. We do find out that Kayla lost both her parents. Her mom was the one who recently passed away. Her dad passed away a couple years ago from cancer. So she's had it hard, but she's close to his family, at least to his mom or whatever, who has been there for her over the years. But her family is not aware that he has been in prison. Okay, because remember she moved to Atlanta, to be with him, and her family all stay in whatever state. So Mama felt like, Michaela brothers are going to have to meet Martell, and hopefully they accept him because again, they ain't got no choice. It's my son. Okay, and Mama also brings up how, you know, I can't say Martell, will be faithful, but I know that he love. I mean that he love Kayla, and I'm looking like, but that's like some mamas who will befriend the main girlfriend, but also know about the other chicks he messed with or whatever, and won't say shit. I was like, girl, get out of my face. But again, he gets like a 2-day pass later on the halfway house. Be out 2 days. And so it'll be the first time he'll see the place that she got for him. She just moved to Atlanta a month ago. So it's a new place or whatever. And they get to the house and she's giving a look to the kitchen, living room or whatever. He say, when was the last time you used stove? She's like, oh, yesterday. She's like, oh, you should have cleaned it. I'm like, should have cleaned it. So this is the dirty stove that he told her upon walking through the apartment that needed to be cleaned. And I'm like, and again, it's she you can tell she cooked and just didn't wipe it off, but the stove ain't dirty. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuff she got whatever. And it's from yesterday. Okay. I've seen stoves look like they ain't been washed in 4 years. Okay. And then as they walking through the house more, and he sees like the little laundry room, he then say, look like you gotta do some laundry because the clothes weren't folded up. And I was like, she said, what the fuck is wrong with your hands? Okay, if you see shit, then you can bust some suds and clean as you will. I just seen him. And he's like, yeah, but like it ain't them ain't even your clothes. So why do you care if they're not folded up? Again, she gets pissed because she felt disrespected and like you called me dirty because you nitpicking that little bullshit and not just being appreciative of the fact that you out of prison and you have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment that's clean and basically be renovated, at your leisure. But you choose to comment on these little things that's on bullshit. And even when they showed the stove, the stove was not really actually dirty. You know what I'm saying? It was a little stuff on it. And the clothes not being folded. You know what I'm saying? Her thing was I was rushing last night to get the bed to be up in time to get him. And so I just did not, finish. But again, I've been busting my ass for 13 years, living 2 lives, okay? One with him in prison, one with me in life or whatever. And hard ass work. I was like, I love that she told him, you not gonna just talk to me any kind of way. Like I have not been helping and being there for you and you have this because of me, motherfucker, and not be appreciative of that. You're gonna nitpick a little bullshit. And the fact that he walked out the house, like I'm not gonna allow her to like mess up my first night. Nigga, you messed it up. You messed it up. And the fact that he don't get why she's upset is dumb, okay? He said, I'm a clean person. He said, I take 2 showers a day. My cell was all. I'm like, you had a cell that you had to keep clean. Cool. She had to live life for 13 years on your waiting for your ass. And the apartment wasn't messy. So he was making it seem like she's messy, she's dirty. And because I'm not. And I take 2 showers a day. Well, sir, what the fuck ever. Anyway, so he didn't call someone to come pick him up to leave because as he said, I feel about my business or whatever it need to be. And so she come outside to try to talk to him about, okay, so do you even get why I'm offended? And he kind of ignores her or whatever, like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about that or whatever. I can't change how you feel, but don't worry about it because I'm about to go about my business or whatever. And you can't change how I feel. And now how I am or whatever. I was in prison for 13 years and no one's going to make me hold my tongue. And she's like, all right, deuces. And I was like, what the fuck? So he leaves with whoever, some friend. And she now like, I can't believe this motherfucker, came here on that book. Like, I love him, but I'm not gonna be in that bullshit. I don't like Martell. I don't like the fact that she came outside and tried to talk to him and he shut it down as if she's nobody. pissed me off. Okay, but anyway, I am all done, okay, for the review. Please make sure to like the video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to my channel. I have to go. Do not forget to like the damn video now, okay? And I will see y'all on Monday at 8 o'clock to review Bad Boys Club LA live on my channel. Gotta go. Peace.